Okay, everybody's favorite now, writing word problems. Now, what's kind of weird about these with word problems is you're taking words from word problems and you're putting it into an equation. So, what's kind of interesting about this with the word problems is that you've actually been doing this. So it's not as complicated as you may think. So we've got two examples here we're going to look at. All right, so let's take a look at these. All right, so you already owe $4.32 in overdue rental fees and are returning a movie that is 4 days late. Now you owe $6.48. Define a variable. All right, then write and solve an equation to find the daily fine for an overdue movie. So a lot of times on these, they'll say, well, define a variable, and then you're like, well, what's my variable represent? Well, then then the next sentence will basically tell you. It says write and solve an equation to find. Once you see that to find, that's telling you what you're looking for. To find the daily fine for an overdue movie. So we want to find daily fine. So let's just use F. All right. And so we're going to use F as our daily variable, and we're going to say that that is my daily fine. All right. So we're already getting started here. All right. And then it says you already owe $4.32 in overdue rental fees. Okay. So that means that of the money we owe $4.32. All right. And you're returning a movie that is 4 days late. So this is obviously a habit for you, is that you tend to return things late, right? So in addition to this $4.32, you're going to be paying for this movie that's 4 days late. And this is back in the days when people got videos and DVDs and didn't stream everything. So nowadays it's a lot simpler. So now you owe $6.48. So you owed this, and then whatever it is that you owe from your overdue, if you add that up, your total that you owe is $6.48. So we just got to figure out what this is. Well, we know that it's going to be part to do with that. So what I would suggest is start by writing the F in. So it's 432 plus F equals 648. Well, that's not entirely right, because F stands for your daily fine. So your daily fine means your fine for 1 day. How many days is this late? All right, fine for 1 day. Well, you're 4 days late. So we're going to do something with that 4. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that fine. For 1 day you pay it, and then the next day it doubles. The next day it triples, right? So you're multiplying it by how many days? So it's 4 days. So our equation is 432 plus 4F equals 648. So let's try this, and let's see what happens when we solve it. So we're going to set up our fence, and we're going to do our cows and chickens thing, right? We want to get 4F by itself. So let's start by subtracting 432 from both sides. All right, so let's see what that gives us. Well, that's going to give me $2.16. So what that means is my daily fine for over 4 days is $2.16. So if I came up to you and said, well, you owe $2.16 for the past 4 days, you should be able to figure out what that is for 1 day. You would just say, oh, I'm going to divide that by 4. So that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to divide each side by 4, and then you're going to get F, and I'm going to write that over here, is equal to, well, let's see, that would be, I think, 54 cents a day. Sounds about right. We'll write it like this. All right, 54 cents. So daily fine for an overdue movie is 54 cents. All right, so that's example 1. Let's take a look at another one. It costs $13 for admission to an amusement park plus $1.50 for each ride. That seems kind of expensive, but maybe not. So that means when you go to the amusement park, you pay that $13 once, right? And then $1.50 for each ride. That means however many rides you go on. So if you go on 2 rides, you're going to pay $3. If you go on 4 rides, you'll pay $6, and so on, right? So it says if you have a total of $35.50 to spend, what is the greatest number of rides? All right, so that $35.50 is how much money they're saying we have to spend. So whatever we do, you know, including this, and then however many rides we go on, it's going to add up to that. So notice I said it's going to add up to that. So we're going to have some kind of addition problem. Well, 13 is part of that. So we have 13 plus, and then we want to figure out how many rides, right? So we can use R is going to be the, R is going to be, the number of rides, right? So the number of rides, so it's not 13 plus R equals 35.50, because then you're just going to get 22.50, and you didn't go on 22 and a half rides, right? You know that each ride is $1.50. So if you went on one ride, that would be R times 150. That's how you're figuring it out. If you go on 2 rides, it's your R becomes 2, right? Times $1.50, which gives you $3. That's how we got this number up here, right? So what you're doing is you're taking R and you're multiplying it each time by $1.50. Okay? So it sounds complicated, but it's really not. And these are most of these problems, I think, if you think them through, you can probably do them in your head. All right? So, or at least you can figure them out. Maybe not write out an equation, but you should be able to figure them out. So we've got our $13 fee. We've got $1.50 for every ride. That's what this means. That you pay $1.50 for every ride, and that equals $35.50. So at this point, it's just solving your equation using what we know. Well, I know that 13 is being added to 150, so I'm going to subtract it to get rid of it. All right? And notice that there is no decimal here, but that would be after it. So I would put it here, line up your decimals, subtract 50 cents. You got 2, so you got 22.50 equal to $1.50 R. So if I want to figure out how many rides they went on, I want to divide by this 1.50. All right? So I'm gonna try and figure this out really quick. Well, if I know that every 2 rides is every 2 rides is $3, all right? 21 would be 7 multiples of that, so that would be 14 rides. So I think if I put this into a calculator, I should get 15. I should get R equals 15. So what we're saying here is you can go on 15 rides is the greatest number. So you would say the greatest number of rides you can go on, we'll write it up here, 15 rides. All right, and then you are all finished. You have done a really good job of sticking with it with these videos, so I thank you for that.